Hey guys, what's going on? Today we are thrilled to have Jeannie Fioca, the founder of Cookietexcom. I actually happen to have a pen of hers in my hand, and it says it's an edible tweet. So Jeannie, what is Cookietexcom?
Cookietexcom is a business where we decided we were going to take your text message and put it on our homemade cookie cake. And so whatever you say in a text message, we'll put it on a cookie cake and hand deliver.
Wow.
So customers can order as late as 9 o'clock the night before. We do find that most order the day before. You can pick dates out, and we deliver anywhere from Williamsburg to Norfolk.
And you had this idea maybe 5 years ago. I think you just had your 5th anniversary of your business. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How did you come about with starting the business? Why did you start the business? Why, baking, was that like an old pastime of yours? And then we'll get into the actual customization of it later.
Okay, I can make this story pretty long, so cut me off
Sure.
If you need to. I left work as an OT, occupational therapist, to raise my 3 sons. And I had started baking with my stepdaughter when she needed birthday cakes. And then I proceeded to keep doing it with my kids and making things fancier and fancier. And simultaneously, I was volunteering at their schools and in scouts and at church. And I kind of became, in the 10 years I was home, kind of a different person. And so when it came time for me to return to work, I went back to interview at a place to do occupational therapy, and I couldn't run faster from the place. So I was like, this is not me anymore. I can't do this. And
So you were a stay-at-home mom for 10 years, and then you tried going back.
Yes.
Got it.
I considered going back. Because it had gotten to the point where I was doing so much volunteer work that it was really costing the family money for me to be home anymore. And when the youngest went to school, I was like, oh, I got to do something to at least not be a drain on the finances anymore. And when I was doing cakes, it kind of gradually went to doing it for other people. And when other people wanted my cakes, I didn't know what to charge. I didn't have the confidence to charge. And it got to a point where I thought, I could never make any money doing real cakes because it takes me forever. I don't really, everything's too fancy. Make a long story short, it occurred to me that when somebody asked me for a cake, I would kind of get a little worked up, and then they'd say, oh, but we want one of your cookie cakes. And I'd say, whew. And so I realized if I'm going to make a business out of this and be more creative, which I didn't feel like the OT gave me the opportunity to do that, then it would have to be something with cookie cakes. And I think the OT plays into it again because a lot of occupational therapy is all about dividing things up into smaller pieces and parts and all the little steps that it takes to do something. And I figured out that I thought I could make cookie grams and deliver them locally. So a cookie cake with a short message on it, and maybe I'd go 4 miles. And I realized nobody had sent a telegram, and this was before Instagram. And, the gram word wasn't in, the vernacular.
Right.
And so I thought, well, people send text messages. It would have to be cookie text, not cookie gram.
Got it.
And one day I've told this before, I was taking a nap and I shot up and it was like an edible tweet. And I thought that's just enough of the homemade goodness of a cookie cake paired with the new technology. So a little bit of the old, a little bit of the new. And that happened, I got the idea probably April or May of 11. And then we delivered our first products October 3rd of 11.
Wow. And so, day one, the product that you made was what flavor?
Chocolate chip.
Chocolate chip. And what size?
8 by 8 inches.
8 by 8.
So we'd make it 8 by 8 inch square cookie cake. And that was the critical part of the figuring out the scalability or how to do it a lot at a time, was figuring out, we found the pan that could go from the refrigerator to the oven to the customer. And
so a circle wouldn't work in that case?
Well, that's the thing. A circle is, we had to work with what was out there.
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't make a circle the size we needed that looked appealing. You know, we had one we tried that looked like a paper plate, and we didn't like cosmetically how that looked. And so that was one thing. I mean, one day I hope that I can have somebody custom make my sizes and my pans and my boxes, but we had to work within the parameters of what was out there.
Well, and if you think about how a refrigerator works, you know, it's kind of a rectangle, so you use a circle, you're probably losing space and moving it in each place, so you're actually being able to be more efficient in that case as well. So you are out of work for 10 years, you are making cakes, but you hate doing that. It's a pain in the butt. But you also learn that you can do cookies at the same time in kind of the form of a cake. People like it. They like the taste of it. You have an aha moment where it's, you know, I'm going to call it an edible tweet, Cookietexcom. And then you decide that maybe there's a business around here. How did you find your first customer?
I think it's an interesting story because our first customers were really the people that I had done volunteer work for. Because in those 10 years, I was out there doing the chess club, leading the church group, PTA hospitality, and I felt like I became kind of known as somebody who did what she said she was going to do. Mm-hmm. And was kind of a giving nature.
Yep.
And so my first customers were friends and people that I was connected to through all that volunteering that were like, well, she's going to open a business, we'll give it a shot. Because they trusted me to do what I said I was going to do.
And so the conversation with them was, hey, I've been giving you this thing from a volunteer perspective before. I'm now going to charge you for it. And they immediately received it and bought it? Or, like, how hard?
I don't think it was so much the people that I had been making cakes for. Mm-hmm. It was people that knew me from doing other volunteer things.
Got it.
The other thing that I forgot was months before we launched, I made the Facebook page months before we actually had the website up. Mm-hmm. And I started, talking about it on my personal Facebook page, which 5 years ago, Facebook was kind of it. It was the thing. It's not like now where you have Instagram and all these other venues.
So when you were establishing yourself before, you actually launched, what were you posting on those Facebook posts? What were you telling people? Were you enticing them? Were you getting them excited? Like, what was the strategy behind that?
I think it was a lot of this has been, and a lot of my tribe have been people that were invested before. They like that they knew me before I was an entrepreneur, and they feel kind of invested in me and the business. Mm-hmm. So they, like the early people that liked the Facebook page, we would say things like coming soon, or I would post pictures of like the products as we were trying to develop them. And a lot of it, come to think of it, back then, Facebook really wasn't as many photos. It was a lot of just status updates, mm-hmm. Because I think it's gotten quicker and quicker with the pictures. And where I would say, we are set to launch, or the new website's launching on such and such a date, and check it out. And so we did go into the first delivery date with several orders.
Good. So, what did day 2 look like?
Not as good, but it was really slow to start. Mm-hmm. Very slow. I thought that we would put it out there, and I might have to put a cap on how many we sent out because we just couldn't handle it. And that's that naivety.
Everybody does.
Yes. I was like, if you build it, they will come, and that's not really how it happened.
So how did you get over that then? So was that did that keep you up at night? Like was there a real emotional piece to that, or did you realize, okay, I actually have to work at this? And because you were in the business of building the cakes, right? But you had to actually get out there. Yeah, and I think
setting the ego aside, because of course there's part of that in there. I was kind of low risk in that we had started with a tiny bit of family money, and
what's a tiny bit? What's a tiny bit?
Well, a tiny bit. well, I say tiny, less than $10,000.
Okay.
So I say tiny bit, and that paid for my MacBook, my website, the mixers, the bins for ingredients, the.
Did you take that $10,000 and start a business, or did you take that $10,000 and try out and see if it works? Like, did you go and start Cookietexcom LLC or something like that and do all those kind of requirements that are supposed to be there? Or were you... Okay. So you literally...
like a business from the start. I didn't do anything until I had I got the LLC, I got the business license, I got the insurance, everything I needed. Because I was really afraid of... you just see lawsuits all the time and weird things.
Well, and with food, obviously, it's a little different, too.
Food, I definitely wanted to be covered if something were to happen. But the thing I think after that lull of, okay, I had a few customers and now I don't, was somebody actually inviting me to a networking meeting. And really coming from healthcare and then being a mom, I had no clue all this networking was going on. No idea.
And so...
I've never really been in sales at all.
Yeah.
And so I realizing that I had to get out there was huge.
So the first networking event, do you remember what it was?
I think it was probably when I went to visit a lunch at the Peninsula Women's Network.
Okay. And how did you introduce yourself? Were you scared? How'd you get through it? Stuff like that.
I was terrified, but I learned very quickly to always bring product. Because
did you bring your product that day, the first time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I learned very quickly that it's great to describe the idea to everybody, but if they can see it, taste it, touch it, it's a done deal. Because so many people are used to store-bought cookie cakes and store-bought things that when they try ours and it's been made from scratch, there really is a difference. It's given it the staying power that it has. But, oh gosh, I remember standing up in that meeting and being just a deer in the headlights. But
so was it one of the ones where you had to go around the table and introduce yourself?
Yeah.
So how did you introduce yourself, and what did you learn from that, right? So I mean, I look for trigger points and see what people will go, oh yeah, that makes sense, or huh? Like the you can tell in their interactions when they don't get it. Like obviously there was the I'm scared piece of it, but what were you saying in that kind of first day? How did you learn from it?
Oh, I think it was really that having the product in hand was critical. Because then I could say, okay, and so you order online and you get a message on a cookie cake and you open it up and the recipient and it looks like this. And people could see it, then they were like, oh, now I understand. But I think now I could be in my sleep and do an elevator pitch.
Sure.
And it's something when new people come to the Women's Network now, I just have to kind of chuckle.
So you're gonna make yourself do this. So I'm gonna pull out my timer, and I'm gonna see if you can do this. So
oh, no.
So what do you think? 15 seconds?
15 seconds. Oh, that's all I get?
What do you want more?
No, I don't know how much you want.
All right, we're gonna start with 0.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'll give you 30 max. Ready?
Okay.
Go.
Hi, my name is Judy Fayoka. I'm the owner of Cookietexcom. At Cookietexcom, we take your special message, we pair it with our homemade cookie cake, and we hand deliver it for any occasion. Customers can order as late as 9 o'clock the night before. They can select from 4 different sizes, 6 different flavors, and we'll have it out as early as the next day. Visit us online at Cookietexcom to make your selection today.
24 seconds. That was pretty good.
I tried.
So Cookietexcom is the website to go through. So this is really good. So you've started the company. The first day goes okay. The next day and the next few days after that aren't as good. You realize that you actually have to put forth effort into getting people. It's not the Kevin Costner Field of Dreams, build it and they will come. You learn about a networking event. You learn at the networking event that bringing the physical product actually can enhance that. So then we take that scenario and you give people the cookie. How do you follow up with them? Is there follow up with them? What type of of interaction do you have there to make sure that I didn't just go to this event, give them product, and nothing else happens with it?
I would follow up with emails from time to time. The other critical thing that happened at that meeting was the gal that had invited me was working for a home improvement company, and she took the idea back to the guy that owned that company, and he ordered probably 5 or 6 for the next holiday, which was Valentine's Day.
And these cookies, how much do the cookies cost at that point?
$22.
Okay, so it's a $100 order.
Yeah, which is on like 5 at a time. That's great. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. And now I laugh because that was Valentine's Day, and I thought we were so busy, and we were not busy. But at any rate, that's when I said, "Oh, business gift giving," and that was a huge part of what changed. I continue to push the website and encourage people to go there, but I get a lot more bang for my buck when I try to market to other businesses that give gifts on the regular or to their employees or at the holidays.
Business Made Easy. Experts, templates, community, and results. Learn more today at 1004.com.
So what are some of the strategies that you use to encourage or entice a business to bulk order?
It can be like bringing a cookie to an event. It can be just introducing myself, connecting with them either on LinkedIn, seeing something good that happens to them in the news or something, and then sending something. Saw this great thing happen to you, and I think what I did a lot early on was I went back to some of that cake decorating skills, and I would put a lot of people's logos on cookies to try to get them to be a little bit more impressed or interested, because, and I say that when I tell people about marketing all the time, that make it about the customer. You know, they didn't need a cookie with my logo on it. If I send them a cookie with their logo on it, that was something that made them go, oh, wow.
The little bit of extra effort in there. You want that customer, you can send it to them. I've also seen you do emails for like specific times of the year. So recently was Boss's Day or like Team Member Day or something like that. So you'll send out kind of an email saying, hey, in 7 days, don't forget that it's Boss's Day, and order a Cookietexcom for those people as well.
Yeah, and I think that that's something I've learned over time. I've had the MailChimp mass email service since we started.
Sure.
But I underutilized it. It was actually, honestly, going through 1004 the first time I went to some office hours that there was some discussion going on about mailing lists and utilizing them. And I was always so worried about too much. Mm-hmm. But there's a happy medium where people need reminders.
What is the happy medium for you?
It depends on what the holiday is. Boss's Day, I'm fine with 2.
Sure.
I just don't want to fill up their mailbox every single day with something about Cookietexcom. I mean, I know that my kids would eat a Cookietexcom every day.
Do they?
But not if Jimmy would for sure, and he does every time he can. He'll have me put one of them.
They are very delicious.
Thank you, sir.
They are very delicious.
Thank you.
So that's interesting. So, email has become that thing where people say it's a platform where you can definitely make a lot of money on it, but treat it differently than social, even though it might be the same thing as social. So finding that happy medium was important for you.
And one thing that I've done differently is I was a bit too coupon happy to start with, and I feel like our pricing is very competitive. So in the last 18 to 24 months, we've really backed off coupons. And honestly, the only people that get offered coupons and discounts are on our mailing list. And we make that very clear. And so we had an event, for the birthday, we did something special. And on social media, we said, if you're not signed up for our mailing list, you might miss out. Because we feel like if you're letting us go right to your inbox, then you're truly invested in us and our company. So we're going to
Interesting. So you realize that you're losing money and people are kind of waiting for that coupon,
Mm-hmm.
and so they wouldn't order. So now you kind of remove the coupon there. How have you kind of determined pricing? Like, has it changed? And not talking about delivery. Obviously, there's a price for delivery. But from the product standpoint, how did you come up with pricing? Has it changed over time?
I remember sitting at this very table and writing down, and doing the math and figuring out, in order to get one cookie text out the door, the cost of how many inches of ribbon that go around the box, all that stuff. And so we did do, how much flour, how much sugar, how much everything is in something. And I looked down at it and I thought, the first time I did the math, I was like, well, this idea is for crap. I can't do this. This costs too much. And then I may have fixed my math. so after all the planning I'd done for about 2 days, I didn't think I was going to have this business.
Right.
When I finally had all the numbers, I was like, oh, it's not going to work. But math was never my strong suit. So we based pricing off of really the cost of goods.
Okay.
How much it costs us to get each one out the door just on the cost of the ingredients and the packaging. And then, you kind of add something in there for the labor. And then, there's so many things that go into it. And we started at $22, and now that same product is $25.
Okay.
I think we've upped it twice. Pardon me. Once was when the cost of butter just skyrocketed. And the other time was when I kind of threw a fit and realized that I think for a long time I just wanted people to like my product and like what I was doing.
Mm.
And I had an aha moment one day when I was I thought, I'm working too hard to not have any money in the bank.
Mm.
And so that, I think, was when we put the second jump, I think it was another $1 on each product, because I just was like, I gotta, at some point, I don't want to be working this hard and not have anything to show for it.
So, that being said, were you ever in the negative where you had to infuse more capital into the business?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you just weren't bringing in money, the amount of money that you wanted
we always covered our bills. I've always been able to pay any employees we have. But we have kind of a very different model than a lot of people with regard to employees, too. And whatever came in, I kind of dumped right back into the business. I didn't really, and I didn't start paying myself until this year.
And how did you determine that you were safe to do that?
Because we had enough cushion for enough time.
Got it.
Yeah.
So the ultimate goal is to potentially franchise.
Yes. Yes.
Do you think that you're 5 years old? Have you obviously a franchise is a lot about process and playbooks and things like that. Have you done anything over the years to prepare yourself for that, or are you now starting to do it?
It's a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
I do, on this computer somewhere, have a book of standard operating procedures from year one, and so it would definitely need a little bit of updating, because I wanted to have something I could hand to an employee that, say, somebody came in and was going to, do everything I did. I wanted to be able to say, oh, here's where you can look it all up. I also made sure that I secured trademarks and defended my brand when I needed to.
Have you ever needed to?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I had a person in California copied my website almost page for page. I think this was in 2012, so the first year, or within the first year. And I had to get a lawyer and get her to pull that down. Not that I thought it was a super huge threat to me, but I felt like, what if I did franchise and I opened one in Fresno and we had this national website and somebody said, oh, this gal over here who sells this kind of cookie out of her house has a website that looks just like this. And so that's where I kind of got a bit territorial.
Well, and you spent the money to do it, so why not enforce it, right? I see nothing the matter with it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So okay, so you're still learning the franchise piece,
So I've trademark, standard operating procedures. This whole last year has been dedicated to really getting my numbers straight. I'm not a great numbers person, and for a while it was as long as I had money in the bank, I thought it was okay. And so I finally have a bookkeeper and somebody who also analyzes the data.
Sure.
And I feel like getting a bit of history with regard to that is critical. And so right now, I think my next step is thinking, what do I want to do? Do I want to try to just set up another location? Do I want it to look just like this? I mean, a lot of people say storefront, we want a Cookietexcom storefront. But there's a lot about the business model as it is now that is working for us.
Sure.
And
don't break something that's not broken, right?
Yeah. And interestingly, I have just in the last day or so thought that it'd be cool to do a pop-up shop, a time or two for Cookietexcom, just to see, what would happen if people could walk in, and while they're there, we just write on cookie cake and box it up and send them out. Might be something fun to try.
We got a lot going on. Let's do some rapid fire questions now. These are hard.
Okay.
Your favorite business book?
Oh, Rework.
Okay.
By Jason Fried.
Yep, the Basecamp guys. Favorite business tool that you can't live without?
Ooh.
We know it's not QuickBooks, right? Or at least not until this year.
No. Oh, this is a little, maybe podcasts. I think that they keep me motivated. And I think I need that. Because some days I just get a little bit like,
Favorite social media channel for your business?
Oh, it's an oldie but a goodie. I have to say Facebook.
Got it.
Facebook can drive some traffic to my website.
Biggest thing you've had to overcome as a business owner?
I think the numbers. And realizing that I have to be accountable and I can't keep having my head in the sand and going, oh, it's fine. Because I really hate numbers with a passion.
Sure.
And all the money part. And so I think that is it, where I finally had to sit down and hand over what I needed to hand over, but still know what's going on numbers-wise.
Craziest thing you've ever had to write on one of your cookie texts?
Oh, I think it was about enhancement surgery.
Male or female?
Male.
Okay. Wow.
It said, good luck with your enhancement surgery.
Have you ever had to send, call someone and say, this isn't going to work, I can't write that?
We have a disclaimer on the website that I can edit it. I don't think I did ever call somebody. I did have one where I would have called, but I was already in a mood with regard to being busy, and so I wrote something that I wouldn't have typically written. I had somebody call me and say, I'm going to put an order through, but it's for my sister, and we all always call each other this word. And so the thing I don't want is some mean and nasty cookie out there and then somebody post it with my logo beside it, because that's not what Cookietexcom is really about. Cookietexcom is about happy and fun and nice and thoughtful.
Absolutely. What is your favorite color?
Oh, blue.
Blue. And do you use blue? Do you use blue? The plane. Do you use blue throughout the website at all?
No. Blue is not appetizing color.
Interesting.
So you should never paint your restaurant blue. That's what I heard.
There you go. If there's one thing that you could have changed over the last 5+ years being in business, is there something? Or do you kind of just live and learn from it?
This is delicate. I never would have changed. I had a year where I used a different web person. I would have been more assertive with my first web person to say, I need you back in here helping me make these changes rather than switching people. Mm-hmm. Because when I switched, the website was so slow that I felt like I lost a year of growth. Because if you saw something that suggested Cookie-Text and you clicked on Cookietexcom and it took that long to load, you lost interest and moved on to the
Sure.
other thing. And I think I lost a year of good SEO, Google rankings. I think I lost a lot in that year.
So you switched providers kind of during that time?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
The next fill in the blank, in the next 5 years, Cookie-Text will be blank.
A household name.
Okay, fill in the blank again. In the next 5 years, Jeannie Fioca will be blank.
Oh, happy, I guess. That's another word.
That's good. If someone was watching and was on the fence about starting a business, what would you tell them?
I would tell them that if it's something that they love, go for it. But do your due diligence, make a bit of a plan. It doesn't have to be as cut and dry as some of the, I got business plans for dummies when I started. But make sure you love it, because there was a moment in the kitchen last Christmas where I looked at Liz working with me and I said, what if we created this and hated it? We were working so hard and so much that if we were miserable in there, it would have been horrible. Because if you love it and you throw your heart and soul in it and it's a success, then you've just, basically you're playing every day. I go in that cookie kitchen and I'm kind of playing every day. I'm doing what I enjoy. I'm doing what I love.
So I was going to ask, how do you know if you love something, right? But I guess if you're playing, like you said, or you're not angry at, like, you can get angry at the process and things like that, but, how do you know that you love something?
I think that the feeling of joy and knowing yourself a bit, because I knew when I was giving away cakes and decorating them and doing things like that, I knew what parts of it I enjoyed, and the main part I enjoyed was when somebody received it and they felt thought of, and they felt like somebody put some extra time and energy to give them something. And I think that kind of goes hand in hand with Cookietexcom.
Right.
And that's part of what I like, is I'm kind of the catalyst for people to do that every day. And I find great joy in that. And it's just super fun to think, oh my gosh, this gal's having a baby, and you were part of, her announcing it to her work, and, so.
The joys of that sound amazing, and making sure that you have the joys in that every day. I personally believe that happiness obviously is insanely important, and for me, I want to be happy, so it's good that that's what you want, and finding the joys in life is something that I think can continue to make the tough times easier when because we're helping people out and whatnot. So, Jeannie Fioca, thank you so much for your time today. Cookietexcom is the website. And if people want more information, they can go there. Cookietexcom. That's COOKIETEXT.com. Thank you for being with us today.
Thanks, Jack. It's always a pleasure.
Always.
Business used to be tough, then we stepped in. Sleepless nights, depleted bank accounts, way too much on credit cards, plus working 24/7. All for what? Bankruptcy? Heck no. Get the exact process you need to change everything. When do I ask for the sale? Post to social media or cold call? Let's face it, business isn't for the faint at heart. Good thing that's not you. No matter what level you are in business, from the first dollar to the next million, your time and money is valuable. Knowing what to do will save you both. This platform includes 3 weeks from starting to making money course, raising money for dummies, scheduler, a calendar to schedule all of your existing content. Oh yeah, plus access to hundreds of expert workshops, business templates like legal, executive summaries, all editable. On-demand access in the car, on your laptop, or next to your partner while watching Shark Tank. Growing your business couldn't be easier. Nate just used 1004 to raise almost $64,000 on Kickstarter. Without 1004, he says, he would have not raised a penny. For more information, head over to 1004.com. That's 1000four.com.